Hola guys, Max back again. Got a colorful situation going on today. When I wear clothes like this, I think it'd be hard for people to believe that I'm like upset or depressed or going through anything because it's like bright colors and stuff. So I don't know, some days, especially when the weather's like nice, it's nice like 80 degrees down here. When the weather's nice, I like to, I don't know, dress up, whatever. A little color, whatever. I usually wear black, but anyway. But I don't have the most rosy topic in the world to talk about today. And I want to talk about the idea of, or the adage of, okay, man, if you look a certain way and you look a certain way, you're just not going to get women. So you need to make some money and then you can do whatever you want and you can get women and be happy. I want to challenge that a little bit. Not necessarily if that's fact or not. We know that's fact. We know what's going on. We see rappers and football players that aren't conventionally attractive get in relationships as soon as they get on. They get married, all this stuff. College football stars getting married as soon as they get their contract signed. It's like the marriage is a part of the contract. Like women are all over, blah, 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 all that. It's like looks don't even matter anymore. And they don't. Because they're dating you for what they're dating you for. But what I want to challenge is that challenge the idea that should be some kind of goal for men, like especially men who would want a relationship out of that. And I know you could be rich and lonely and all that good stuff, and if you hate hooking up with girls now, like I've grown to hate hooking up and doing the whole hookup culture thing and getting with different girls and always having to do this vetting process over and over again, this process of getting to know somebody over and over again, getting tested every 2 weeks, just bang, 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 just getting tested multiple times in a 2 week span. Even if you are using protection, just get tested, you know what I'm saying? Because some stuff, condoms can't always help. But then, I'm just saying that anxiety, that up and down, in and out, no pun intended, just dance you're doing, it can become very tiring, and I became tired of that, which is why I started looking for a relationship in a serious manner. So even if I got rich, that wouldn't necessarily change. You could say maybe there's women that, there's actresses or something that I might want to get with just for the old scrapbook, just for the memories and the plot. But other than that, it's like, I'll still want a relationship, and this is where people say, well, you got money, just get into it. But no, actually. This is my problem, right? When it comes to the women that I've been with, and I know some dudes out there who haven't had many sexual partners or women in their lives, but they've had a good couple that took chance on you. Let's just look at it like this. An unattractive man, dating is you investing in me and me investing in you. If I'm not as attractive, then my investment isn't as valuable to your life. If I'm really attractive and I have a bunch of other options and I could be anywhere, then me investing in you means more because it's really a choice at that point. Like through all the proof of why I guess other people might be saying I shouldn't be with you, all the things that might be going on. This is a nice little angle right here. I didn't even take pictures over here. Just let me get anyway. My investment means more. And I say that to say I've been with, I want to say every woman that I've been with in a relationship with, or any woman that I've been with almost in general, in any way, I pretty much unanimously want to get rich and pretty much just give these women a bunch of money out of the blue. Even if we're not on speaking terms, and I know that might be simping, but I don't want anything from them. I almost want to pay them a bunch of money if I get rich just to reward them for being what they were in my life, simply because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. They could have been with other people. I pretty much feel like throughout my entire relationship history, while I was with, I think I'm gonna go this way. while I was with any girl, there was at least a couple dudes around them trying to hover and get in there. Or there was a dude who might have had them before, but not in a serious way, and then I get with her, and he's kind of like, hovering around, like, oh, we can't hang out anymore. And the girls, at least, hey, as far as she's showing me, she's like, because the girls will show you, they'll be like, no, no, I'm with him now, blah, blah, blah. So that's happened quite a bit. And, what time is it? Yeah, I'll just go my normal way. But yeah, because of them doing that and just sacrificing for me when these dudes were cooler. A lot of these dudes were on a conventional attractiveness scale better than me. They could have just did better. And I used to make me super insecure. Like, I would focus more on the fact that, no, that dude's better than me. She's probably gonna leave. Instead of, just thanking and appreciating the woman I was with in the present for being with me at all. And choosing. Because at that point, I didn't have nothing to offer. I'm doing a little bit better now, obviously. Because, being older as an adult, you got to be able to maintain somewhat. And that kind of puts you in a position to have things to offer. But I didn't have nothing to offer then. So, the women that I was with, they really were angels in a sense. Because they gave me experience that I guess maybe you could say based on pure attractiveness or whatever. Because it seems like that's what really matters nowadays. I didn't deserve. And they just gave it to me. And kudos to them. It's women out here who literally bully other women. Like, oh, you're with him and you... They might have been going through some of that, and they were with me. They were spending money on me. I had some buy me plane tickets, spend a bunch of hundreds of dollars on my birthday just to make me smile. I've had girls that, like, we weren't even together in the moment, and they went all out for my birthday multiple times. Exes that, wow, we haven't even been talking throughout the entire... We haven't even been talking, and they just pop back up just to... be angels in my life again. Those women are the type of women that deserve stuff from me. Now, insert me getting rich or something. Say this YouTube channel gets Mr. Beast level somehow, and I'm rich as all hell. I don't like the idea of a woman that, say I match with on a dating app and she goes to me. I don't like and say it's when I really want it, because there's one that I'm talking to now where I'm pretty sure the ghosting is in effect. I don't want to speak into existence, but I'm pretty sure the ghosting is going down right now, but I'm not sticking around for it. Long story short, I kind of just like, she went like a day without texting me and then tried to text me again. When that happens, and I'll tell you guys to do this, I immediately shift gears to, hey, because basically we're done texting at this point. I'm putting it into the texting right now. Unless something happens where she has to invest something to keep me believing that this is going somewhere and keep me trying to invest. But now she has to invest something. Now let's go out. Now you have to invest some time and some energy. I'm sorry, because now you just went a whole day without texting me. We know how girls are on their phone. I'm not trying to hear it. Maybe she was busy at work and whatnot. That's all good. We really should, we're adults and stuff. The ultimate goal is to get together. Let's not even text regardless. It's a bunch of reasons why we should just go out on a date now. Let's go out on a date. And I'm at that point, and anytime a girl disappears from texting for a long time, I kind of get to that point where I'm just like, yeah, let's text. And then if they say, let's not text. Well, not let's not text, but let's definitely plan something to transfer this to an in-person thing. And then afterwards, if they want to do it or not, I'm like, okay, let's get off this app, take my number. And I don't ever ask them for their number. I say take my number so that they, they have the option. They have an easy out. Just don't text me. Unmatch me. Don't text me. I don't have your number. You block me. You'll never hear from me again. And, because I don't want to put no pressure on them. They don't have to do anything. But once I get to a point where I feel like the ghosting is about to happen, I just try to impart that. I want to hang out. here's my number. And then I let Jesus take the wheel. And you know what? So far, it seems to work in the opposite way if you think it would work. You would think girls would take the easy out and then get out of here. But most times, they actually, like, it might be a couple days or something. You know, they might think about it or whatever happens. But they hit me up, and they're like, hey, I actually, do want to spend some time. It usually goes right. But anyway, say the girl that I'm talking to now does do that, disappears, doesn't do that, goes away, disappears, and unmatches, blah, blah, blah. Boom. I become Mr. Beast level tomorrow. And she finds me on something and is like, hey, I don't know what happened, how we disconnect, I don't feel like I should now be like, oh, okay, now that I have money, I successfully balanced myself out as a man, so I can, I can feel comfortable with allowing this girl into my, now high earning lifestyle. Because a lot of dudes will look at it like that, like, hey, it's simple. I just didn't look that good. I got my money and now I got my wife. It's all right. No, I don't think it's all right. Of course, who wants to be lonely? Just because I'm rich don't mean I stop wanting a relationship. But no, man, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be with somebody where it's not about me. And maybe I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a spoiled brat or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But that's just not the style of relationship I want to be in. I don't want to be in a relationship for relationship's sake. Like, I want to be with a woman who has choices and chose me. I guess you could say I get off on that. I don't know about other guys. But I prefer that type of relationship. That's a different style of relationship. Like, you're not marrying my wallet. It's not happening. We're not going for that. That's not what we're getting into in our relationship. And I feel like a lot of dudes, as far as, getting their money up and stuff, this is their ultimate goal. And it's like, no. Like, I'm almost tempted to not even get with girls in any physical way after I make it. Because I kind of feel like, no, let's screw that. Like, you had the opportunity to invest in me when I didn't cost much. Or I wasn't worth much. You had the opportunity to get in on the ground floor. It's like a stock. They don't, the stocks don't allow you to just jump in on a high level without an investment while they're on the way up. No. I just don't feel like that. Like, I feel like that's rewarding bad behavior. And I feel like a lot of dudes who do become high earners or whatnot, like, they deal with women who only care about them for the money and put up with the signs that she doesn't care about you as a person. I feel like a lot of dudes put up with that and put themselves in those types of situations. It's like, bro, you busted your behind and made money to make your life comfortable. Why are you rewarding this woman? Because at that point, your life is a reward. If you're going to bring her into it, for all intents and purposes, your life is a reward for her. Why are you rewarding this woman who wouldn't have spit on you to put out a fire to now come sleep in your California king bed with the sleep number function and the cooling and the warming and the recline function? She doesn't deserve that. Like, I'm sorry. And I get it. It's like, maybe it's, oh, you're being like sensitive or something like that. That's nature. That's how it's always been. I would want to curse so bad. Man, F that. I'm sorry. Like, I want a woman that just, for some reason, myself, like, I have to be enough for you. I have to be enough. Like, I have to be enough. And that's that. Like, and I understand if I'm not. I get it. Not everybody's cup of tea. But the thing is, I've had women in my life before. And I was enough then. So, with that being said, I still carry that same mindset, even if I was to make $1 billion tomorrow. I want to curse so bad because I feel so strongly about this. Like, no. And I really implore other guys to do this. Save yourself the headache of a woman who is going to have moments where even your money isn't going to keep her from cringing or something, when you try to kiss her or something. Just these signs that she's not actually interested in you are you're gonna know what they are, and they're gonna break your heart when they happen, because she'll accidentally let it on. They can only hide it for so long, man. It's videos literally on the internet of women saying like I'm a cringer, I'm a visible cringer. I gotta get a haircut. I'm a visible cringer. You'll know if I don't like you. I'm sorry. Like, I can't hide it, but you're cool. Like, what the hell? Like, dudes will get into relationships with girls like this. Mind-boggling to me. Why men will grind so hard just to invite this expensive problem into their life. So, I don't know, man. Like, that's kind of the point, man. Like, we need to stop rewarding bad behavior because of attractiveness, man. We need to stop doing that. We will never fix the problem with the dating market. And I know this is getting out of this is going left field, this is going off topic, but the biggest problem with the dating market, the reason it's so messed up, actually at this point, and the reason it's not getting any better, isn't because women are mean people or men are abusers and sexual assaulters. No. The real big problem is because men, it's accountability, and people being accountable and then being held accountable. Men are not holding women accountable. We are paying for OnlyFans. We are giving money. We are subscribing to what is it? Private Snapchat stories and stuff. Come on, like, of women. 9 times out of 10, you can see these women, like, if you really want to go down that road, there's leaks on Twitter. But, I mean, that could be fake, but it's the same anyway. It's naked. I mean, come on, guys. Like, this is so sad to me. Like, there's people who I know, people who I respect, who will admit and be like, yeah, I have a paid account to such and such, I had to. No, you didn't. Like, it's so frustrating, because it's like that woman... No. And I get it. They're selling something. They want some support. Let women support them then. Like, come on, guys. It's not that deep. And then the reason and then they'll take that money and talk about their own, like the type of dudes who will subscribe to something like that. They'll take their money, and then if they see you in the street, 9 times out of 10, they were going to be like, ill, and cross the street away from you. Whole time you built up this parasocial relationship with this woman, and she doesn't even see you as human. Whole time you're probably a decent dude, and you spend there's this dude who spent, I think on Ruby Rose's OnlyFans, he spent over $300,000. And when she met him, I think there was leaked text of her talking trash about him, and people were just in the comments like, bro, stop, please. It's that's the problem, because it trickles down. Say there's men who can't spend $300K on Ruby Rose's OnlyFans. Okay, there's men who will get with a woman who feels as if she is Ruby Rose due to the fact that men will spend money on her and she has to do minimal effort and minimal investment for said money. And it'll be the same men over and over again. They get an ego boost off of this. There's women who say a man is a 4 and a woman is a 4. This woman feels like she's a 9 because this 4 man just spent $200 on her just to get her attention, because he thinks that's what's going to work, just because he has a good job and he can afford it. Now this woman leaves him for whatever reason. Say this man wises up. She now still has this inflated sense of self, but she's still a 4. On the conventional scale, I'm not saying my personal opinion. I'm not going to use examples. On a conventional scale, imagine whatever you think a 4 is. She's not going to go talk to nobody her own. She feels like she has no reason to go talk to nobody that's her own rating. She's a 4, but she'll be damned if she goes and talks to somebody that's a 4, because in her mind, she's not a 4. She got paid $100 by this one dude this one time, or this couple times, to go on a date with him, and all she had to do was give him a side hug, and he paid extra for the hug. This is the type of stuff that's going on. This is real stuff that's going on. Go on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Go on Twitter and see what's happening out here, man. Dudes are giving in to loneliness, and I get it. It's hard. I suffer with it. Dudes are giving into loneliness and paying for women to respond to them, paying for good morning texts from women. Dudes are like, they're giving in to this stuff. And it's like, bro, that's the reason why things won't get better. Because, like I said, these women, because the way it's supposed to work is everybody's supposed to be looks matching and just making it work. That's how it's always worked. The nobles who were born into royalty, they just dated other princes and princesses. They stayed in their lane. The people who were peasants, two peasants met each other. They were all right at the pub. They stayed together and it just made it work. You have dudes who are financially princes or close to it, who get either bored or something, who will come down to the peasant level, elevate this woman to princessery for a night, and now this woman believes she's a princess when no, actually you're a peasant. And I don't mean that in like a derogatory way. I mean just like, status, class, earning, all that. And now she will never look at the other peasants the same. Like, nope, there's another prince that's going to come and get me. No, he's not. And when you realize that and you transfer that to the modern world, when the woman realizes that, when she goes back out into the dating world, trying to swipe on these 9s and 10 dudes, and then say the dudes, give her a little bit of attention. Maybe they respond a little bit because, dudes get bored and, they'll just respond and do whatever. They got girls hitting them up. That's cool, whatever. You kind of just allow it sometimes. Sometimes you're bored. Sometimes you want something simple and easy. That's not going to be... Because, I have people I work with and people that I was friends with or whatever that were, conventionally really attractive dudes. And they talk about how they could be like a-holes to certain girls. And they kind of want to... Sometimes they want to do that. Not necessarily on purpose be a-holes. But they know if they get with a highly attractive, high-value woman, quote-unquote, these terms... They know if they get with a really highly attractive, high-value woman, they have to, it's like a job. You got to put on your best fit. You gotta get ready. She gonna be snippy about the time. She gonna be, more likely to cut you off, quickly if you're late for the date, or you pick her up and your car is dirty or whatever. You gotta get ready. Sometimes these dudes, they want to just have something simple and easy happen. Like a simple, easy thing that they could pick, they don't have to shower, they could pick up the girl, do whatever. But meanwhile, this girl thinks she's getting queen treatment. Good enough for her, close enough to getting money. And then she gets pumped and dumped by this dude who was just bored and blocked. And after a while, that makes her feel like she's losing her mind, because why don't these men want to wife her up? Because you're dating outside your level, and you're not even really dating. You're just being used. You think you're dating. Go put on a hidden, hire a private person or investigator or something to put on a hidden camera to go talk to that dude and ask him about you. And yeah, you could say that dude's a scumbag and whatever. Or he just used her and blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is true. That's not nice. You shouldn't do that to people. Date within your range so that it's always genuine. Got it. But, you think that you just were dating. You're not even dating. You're just being used, and you're offering yourself up to be used because you're going after people who don't even really ever even spend any moment catering to what you actually want out of dating. And the dudes who are down to actually do that, you find them disgusting and boring. That's why the dating scene is so messed up, because this is why I say nobody's getting what they want. Need I say more? And this all just goes back to my decision of, I'm not spending money on a woman. If I get rich, I'm not spending money on a woman that doesn't find me attractive, on a woman that wouldn't be with me if I was broke. I know that's hard to find once you already get up there. And I think that's why, because I know I'm locking in and I'm creating more content, I'm being more consistent. I think that's why maybe I'm putting the pedal to the metal when it comes to dating a little bit right now, because I'm scared to make it first and then have to vet every woman I come across, because every girl's going to be attractive, every girl's going to be cool, every girl's going to be really interesting, because at that point it's like a hunt, it's like a job to them. They're good. There's girls out here who really know how to play the game, man, who can really convince you. Really, really good. There's people who know how to play the game, bro, who will really convince you they're in love and keep you convinced long term until you lose it all, and then suddenly it's over, right? And you knew what this was, So that's why I think I'm putting the pedal to the metal with dating. when maybe I should be focusing more on my mental health. Because I don't want to make it up there and have to do all that work. Like, if I get with a girl like how my exes have been, who's like investing into me really heavily just because of me, and then I make it, I will feel super comfortable buying. I will feel super comfortable giving that woman the literal world. The literal world. And granted, you could say, oh, what if over time she loses love for you and becomes just about the money? Then, yeah, hopefully I'm able to sniff that out and you will move accordingly, and I end up in the same position anyway, having to vet and do that like a job. But I'll do it, man. I'll do it, and I'll do it because I'm not doing it, man. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving the world to somebody who wouldn't have given me a penny if all I needed was a penny to survive. I'm not doing it, bro. And I don't think y'all should either. I think men are waking up and men are starting to respect themselves and their time by not really giving it all to women. Women are starting to get annoyed with the fact that they used to think like, okay, this attractive man is, coming to see me and he's smashing me and blah, 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 blah. They're starting to get fed up with that. They want commitment more than ever now. There's a lot of women who are okay with the smashing and blah, 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 and they starting to turn it on its head like, oh, I smashed him, I bagged him, he didn't bag me. Okay, say what you want. I'm not even going to touch on that. Anyway, that you will crash out before that man crashes out 9 times out of 10. Especially if you're a 4 and he's a 9, you're going to crash out first. I can bet money on it. You're going to crash out before he does. In some kind of way, you're going to crash out. But anyway, like I said, not getting on that. But, yeah, there are women, a lot of women are starting to be annoyed with the fact that, like, okay, these men are not committing. What's happening? Like, we had fun. We're adults now. Let's commit. And it's like, now the game, like in Jigsaw, like the Saw movies, you know how at the end, right before they're about to expose the final twist or whatever, and that music comes on, and that music, it's starting to play, and the final con on these women and how they conned and trapped and played themselves is coming into play. The final jigsaw piece is coming into play. It's coming into the game. Like, these women, they're starting to realize, like, wait, we might have dug ourselves into a situation that we can't get out. We might have dug ourselves into a pit and didn't bring a rope down to climb out. It's happening. And women are starting to complain more and more. Where have all the real men gone? And men are starting to get on Instagram and social media and stuff and be actually happy alone. And be like, I will never get into a relationship. I went through this when I was broke. No, I'm not broke. I'm getting this treatment. I see what it's about. No, thank you. And men are like openly saying like, nope, I'll stay single for the rest of my life. I've gotten used to being alone. Thank you. And then they kind of get shamed for that. Like, well, we got to procreate and blah, blah, blah. We didn't have to procreate when you were ghosted. I've had a girl disappear on me for a month. We're mid-conversation. This is after we already hung out and she basically ignored me the whole time while we were hanging out. I go home. I didn't text her or anything. She hits me up, checking on me. I tell her how I've been, and she disappears for a month. Comes back, tries to keep the same conversation going. For a month. And the sad part is, I know for a fact, just knowing that girl, I know for almost a fact that girl probably looks at it like, why didn't he respond to me? I didn't respond to that. Are you crazy? You come back after a month trying to keep the same conversation going over a month? You're crazy. God forbid that girl comes back when I make it. And I think a lot of dudes are having that same attitude, and it's great. It's great. It's not good because ultimately, in the end game, we all lose. We all lose from this. Nobody wins here. But at least you're not offing yourself prematurely by doing certain stuff. You're not, disrespecting yourself too bad by doing certain stuff. You're not exiting yourself out the game before you get a chance to really enjoy your wealth and your this and that, and you get into some high cost divorce with a woman who doesn't even like you, and you lose everything, and she's out spending your money sleeping with the pool boy that you hired just because he's genuinely more attractive than you. I will not be partaking in none of that, and I think you guys shouldn't either. So, in summation, know your worth, guys. Especially my guys who are on the grind. Know your worth, act your worth, and only share your worth and your accumulated just things in life with people who treated you like you're worth what you are. And that's that. So without further ado, this long video went longer than it should. I'm gonna get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Thank y'all for letting me ramble, and let me know what you guys think. Am I just being a wuss? Is this just how nature's intended it to be? And blah blah blah. Let me know. We can talk about it in the comments. I'm with everything. So I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace out. Mass out. Peace. Out.